Hi everyone, I'm Jess and I work for the Environment Agency. Today we're going to tell you about the work of the Environment Agency and what you can do at home and at school to be more prepared for flooding. Throughout this video, we'll be giving you clues to our quiz at the end. The Environment Agency is an organisation that works to make England a better place to live for people and wildlife. We are a big organisation, so we are split into different areas. We work in Thames area, and we work to improve the River Thames, its tributaries, and local communities. A tributary is a smaller river that flows into a main river. Thames area is very big. The main areas that we cover are Oxfordshire, Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, and Surrey. What do you think the Environment Agency does? The Environment Agency in Thames area covers a wide range of issues, from enhancing habitats and improving water quality to dealing with major environmental incidents and protecting people from flooding. We monitor water quality by collecting samples and testing for harmful chemicals. We make sure the River Thames can be accessed safely by boaters. We work closely with water companies to balance the pressures on our water resources and to avoid drought. We improve the environment for freshwater fish, salmon and eels. And we work to get our rivers and wetlands back into good health to benefit wildlife and flooding. We are also building flood schemes to reduce flood risk. In Oxfordshire, we are building the Oxford Flood Alleviation Scheme. This is a major project being led by the Environment Agency. We're working closely with our partners such as Oxfordshire County Council to reduce flood risk to homes, businesses and transport in Oxford and the surrounding areas. The scheme will also create wetland habitats and increase biodiversity in the area. The Environment Agency helps communities and partners in England prepare for, respond to and recover from incidents that damage or provide danger to our natural environment. This can include the illegal dumping of waste, pollution of water or land, responding to fish kills, monitoring nuclear sites, and protecting people, buildings and land from flooding. You will have seen on the news and in your studies at school that there are lots of environmental challenges that we now face, such as climate change. Our climate is changing and the threat to our country is a real one. Rising temperatures, sea level rise and more extreme weather causing more droughts and flooding. So what do you know about flooding? Write down your thoughts. The Environment Agency works hard to protect people and their homes from flooding. Before and during the flood, we clear debris from trash screens so water can flow freely. We install and operate flood defences. We set up pumps to remove water, and we share flood forecasts and issue flood warnings. We're dedicated to help people prepare, act and survive. But we can't do this on our own. We need the help of our partners, the people who we work closely with during incidents, such as fire and rescue, the police, the local authority and the Met Office. We're all called Category 1 responders under a law called the Civil Contingencies Act of 2004. This means we're the key people during an emergency and have to legally plan and respond to a range of emergencies. We have to create emergency plans. There are also Category 2 responders, organisations like Thames Water and other utility companies. They will be more involved in incidents that affect their own sector, such as a flooded power station. Category 1 and 2 responders come together to form local resilience forums, which help us plan together at a local level These forums are based on police boundaries. So in Thames area, we are all involved with the Thames Valley Local Resilience Forum and the Surrey Local Resilience Forum.
There are a number of risks in the UK that we need to be prepared for, from pandemics to flooding to cyber attacks. Each local resilience forum needs to produce a community risk register to help organisations like the Environment Agency develop an emergency plan. An emergency plan describes procedures for handling incidents. The objective is to be prepared to prevent the incident getting worse, prevent fatalities and injuries, reduce damage to buildings, protect the environment and the community, and restore normality as soon as possible. The Environment Agency has a number of emergency plans that help us respond to environmental incidents, such as river and coastal flooding, land or water pollution, and reservoir failures. Today we're going to focus on river flooding. 1 in 6 properties in England are at risk of flooding from rivers, sea and surface water. River flooding is caused by heavy rainfall which makes rivers overflow. So it's really important that we know what weather to expect. We work very closely with the Met Office to build this picture. There is a joint Environment Agency and Met Office team called the Flood Forecasting Centre. They review the data each day and tell us the flood risk using a risk matrix. We also investigate and respond if we get reports of flooding through other sources such as groundwater. If the Flood Forecasting Centre highlights a risk of flooding, we will activate our plans and prepare to respond. We do this through a structure called Concept of Operations. This splits our duty officers into 6 cells which focus on different parts of the incident, such as logistics, intelligence and communication. We have a number of duty officers who focus on different tasks during a flood, such as flood warning duty officers who issue flood warnings and discuss flood risk with partner organisations, flood incident duty officers who operate flood defences and arrange for blockages to be cleared, logistics officers who put people on standby to respond, and area engagement officers who respond to MPs. During a flood, the Environment Agency's main role is to warn partner organisations and communities, to protect the health and safety of our staff, and to be visible on the ground to help communities that have been affected. A lot of duty officers work from our incident room, which is a room we use when we are dealing with a large flood. Other duty officers work outside in areas that are flooding. They speak to members of the public to collect data, clear drains to avoid blockages, and build temporary barriers to prevent property flooding. We have a few locations in Thames Valley and Surrey where we can put temporary barriers. You may have seen them over the winter. In January, we installed our barriers in New Botley and South Hinksey in Oxford and protected properties from flooding. All of these tasks and responsibilities are included in our emergency plans. During a flood, we also need the help of our partners. People may need to be evacuated from their homes if there is a big flood, so the local authority would organise this by following their own emergency plan. It's the same for fire and rescue, who may need to rescue people trapped in their cars. The Environment Agency links into a number of wider emergency plans, as flooding can cause a number of additional risks, such as damaging electricity substations or train tracks. So it's really important that we prepare for and respond to flooding together. We also need to focus on recovery. It's important that we have a debrief after a flooding incident. A debrief is an information sharing exercise where we talk about what went well during the incident and what we need to improve. This gets us ready and even more prepared for the next flood. We do this internally, so within the Environment Agency, and externally with our partner organisations. Part of preparing for the next flood is training. We train our duty officers within the Environment Agency, but we also train with our partners as part of the Local Resilience Forum. Sometimes there are nationwide flooding exercises organised by the government and the community get involved. Recently we've seen flooding across the Thames Valley and Surrey, and we used our emergency plan and arrangements to prepare, respond and recover. Did you see any flooding? In December we saw Storm Bella, which flooded 195 homes across the Thames Valley, including 70 in Witney. In January we saw Storm Christoph, which flooded 30 homes, and we saw flooding continue into February. We had an extremely wet winter, which may become more common due to climate change. This caused our groundwater levels to rise as the soil was completely soaked. There was flooding from rivers. It took a long time for the river levels to drop. We helped communities by warning them of flooding, by clearing debris to avoid blockages, and deploying temporary barriers.
One of our main roles during a flood is to warn and inform communities of the risk of flooding in their area. The Environment Agency provide a flood warning service that can sign up to. You can check if you live somewhere at risk of flooding on our website. And can see where we have flood warnings in place. When it rains, water enters the river. As more water enters, the river gets fuller and eventually overtops, flooding low-lying land and roads. If we expect this to happen, we issue a flood alert. A flood alert means flooding is possible. Be prepared. If it continues to rain, the water level continues to rise until it eventually reaches a level where it will flood homes. If we expect this to happen, we will issue a flood warning. A flood warning means property flooding is expected. Immediate action is required. If the water levels continue to rise and there is severe flooding and danger to life, we will issue a severe flood warning. This is very serious and you should listen to partners such as the police and fire and rescue if they tell you to evacuate. Flooding can be scary and dangerous, but there are things you can do at home and at school to be more prepared. You can sign up to the Environment Agency Flood Warning Service. You can make an emergency plan which lists things you and your family will do if you receive a flood alert or flood warning, such as moving important or sentimental items upstairs and moving cars. You can also list important numbers that you may need to call, such as NHS Direct or the insurance company. Adults that live with you can install floodgates on doors and air brick covers to stop water from entering your home. Sandbags aren't as good as they soak up dirty water and can't be reused. You can keep up to date with the weather through social media, the television or radio, and you can pack an emergency grab bag in case you need to leave your home. Don't forget important items such as medicine, phone chargers, insurance documents and pet food. Your emergency plan and grab bag can also be used for other emergencies where you might have to leave your home quickly, like a gas leak. What else would you put in your emergency grab bag? To keep safe during flooding, remember, never walk or play in floodwater. It can contain sewage, rats, sharp objects and make you and your pets very ill. Don't ever drive through floodwater. It only takes an egg cup full of water to flood your engine, and listen to the emergency services. There are people who can be vulnerable during flooding, people who are elderly or people who are ill. How do you think you could help these people? You can tell them about the Environment Agency Flood Warning Service and that they can sign up to receive messages. You can check on them if you know flooding is expected. You can tell the emergency services that they may need help. After the water has gone, it can take a long time to clean up and get back to normal if your home has been flooded. Pictures, furniture and toys can be ruined. This is why it is important to be prepared.
So now we're going to do a quiz. So question 1. How many properties are at risk of flooding in England? Is it A, 1 in 6 properties, B, 1 in 15 properties, C, 1 in 50 properties, or D, 1 in 250 properties? So the answer is A, 1 in 6 properties. Question 2. What does this sign mean? A, to tell motorists that roads ahead are flooded. The route is not accessible. B, heavy rain is expected in the next 36 hours. Return home and stay warm in case of flooding. C, there is severe flooding. There is danger to life. Or D, severe weather is expected, including flooding, high winds, low temperatures, and heavy rain. So the answer is C. There is severe flooding and danger to life. The Environment Agency have issued a severe flood warning. Question 3. What amount of water could flood your car engine and leave you stranded? Is it A, a tablespoon, B, an egg cup, C, a wine glass, or D, a small bucket? The answer is B, an egg cup. Question 4. During a flood, what causes the most deaths? A, being swept off your feet in fast flowing water. B, hypothermia. C, car accidents from driving through floodwater. Or D, bacterial infections from dirty water. And the answer is C, car accidents. That's why you should never drive through floodwater. And question 5. Name 3 things that you should put in your emergency bag. So you can put things like a mobile phone, but don't forget the charger, important documents like insurance documents, antibacterial hand gels and first aid kits, essentials like keys and money, and don't forget pets, so your pet food and their health records. We hope you have enjoyed learning about the work of the Environment Agency and how we help communities and partners along the River Thames and its tributaries prepare for, respond to, and recover from flooding incidents. You are now flood ready. Remember to check if you live at risk and sign up to the Environment Agency's free flood warning service. The floodwater can be very dangerous. You should never walk or drive through it. And that it's really important to be prepared for all types of emergencies. What actions will you take after this presentation to be more prepared? Thank you for listening.